Chosen one, before you continue with your day, stop for just a moment because there is something God wants you to hear that could completely change the way you see your situation. He says, "The battle you're fighting ended last night. Now watch what happens." Those words may seem impossible to believe, especially if your circumstances still look the same, especially if you're still carrying the same responsibilities, the same unanswered prayers, the same uncertainty. But remember this: God has never needed visible evidence before declaring victory. He speaks from eternity, not from human timelines. What looks unfinished to you may already be settled in heaven. Chosen one, there are battles that end long before we realize they're over. A war can be won while the echoes of the fight are still fading. Think about sunrise. The sun has already begun to rise. Long before its light reaches every mountain, victory works the same way. Heaven often decides the outcome before earth sees the evidence. And perhaps that's exactly where you are today, standing between heaven's decision and earth's confirmation. Chosen one, for months, maybe even years, you've been carrying something that exhausted your spirit. You smiled, but inside, you were tired. You kept praying, but secretly wondered if anyone was listening. You kept trusting. But some nights, faith felt heavier than fear. God saw every moment. He counted every tear. He heard every silent prayer that never became words. Nothing escaped his attention. Not one moment of your struggle was ignored. Chosen one, the enemy wanted you to believe this battle would define the rest of your life. He whispered, "This is how your story ends. You'll always struggle. You'll never recover. You'll never become who God promised." But Satan has always been a liar. His greatest weapon isn't power, it's deception. If he can convince you that you've already lost, you'll stop walking toward the victory God has already prepared. Chosen one, remember the Israelites standing before the Red Sea? Behind them, Pharaoh's army; in front of them, impossible waters. Everything looked hopeless. Nothing suggested victory. But what they couldn't see was that heaven had already decided the outcome. God wasn't wondering how the story would end. He already knew. The sea only needed to catch up with what heaven had already spoken. Perhaps your situation is no different. The miracle isn't being created today. It's simply making its way toward you. Chosen one of the hardest lessons of faith is believing after heaven speaks, but before life changes. Anyone can celebrate after the breakthrough. Chosen people learn to worship before it arrives. That's why your praise has been so powerful. Every prayer you whispered while nothing seemed to change was an act of spiritual victory. Every moment you refused to give up confused the enemy because he expected your faith to disappear. Instead, it grew stronger. Chosen one. There was a spiritual battle taking place that you never fully understood. God was protecting you from things you never knew existed, opportunities that would have destroyed your peace, people whose intentions weren't genuine, decisions that would have delayed your purpose. The greatest victories are often the ones you'll never recognize, because God prevented the attack before it ever reached you. How many disasters have you unknowingly walked past, simply because heaven stood between you and danger? One day, only eternity will reveal how often God rescued you. Chosen one, the enemy attacked your confidence. He attacked your hope. He attacked your identity because he understood something. If he couldn't stop your calling, he would try to convince you that you no longer had one. That's why so many of your battles happened inside your mind. The greatest battlefield has never been your circumstances. It's been your thoughts. Fear against faith, doubt against promise, confusion against truth. But today, God reminds you, his truth has already won. Chosen one. David defeated Goliath with one stone, but before that stone ever left his hand, the victory already existed inside his heart. He walked toward the giant differently than everyone else. Others saw an impossible enemy. David saw a defeated obstacle. Perspective changed everything. Maybe that's the hidden miracle you've been waiting for. Not new strength, but new vision. Seeing your battle the way heaven sees it? Chosen one. There are prayers you've stopped praying because you assumed the answer was no. God says, "I was never saying no. I was saying wait. Sometimes waiting protects the blessing. Sometimes waiting strengthens the believer. Sometimes waiting reveals whether we love the gift or the giver. Never assume delay means denial. God often works in silence so your faith learns to recognize his voice instead of your circumstances. Chosen one, do you know why the enemy fights certain people harder than others? Because he recognizes potential before many people do. He attacked Joseph before the palace, Moses before leadership, Esther before the throne, Jesus before the ministry began. Your battle has never been proof that God abandoned you. It has often been evidence that your purpose matters. Darkness doesn't waste energy attacking empty places. Chosen one, something shifted while you were sleeping. Not because you earned it, not because you prayed perfectly, but because God's mercy never sleeps. While you rested, he continued working. While you worried, he continued arranging. While you questioned, he continued preparing. Heaven never clocked out. God never took the night off. He was moving pieces you couldn't even see. Chosen one, the battle may have ended, but now another assignment begins. Trust. Because after victory, the enemy often whispers, nothing has changed. He wants you to abandon your position just before the evidence appears. Don't do it. Stand firm. Remain patient. The seed doesn't become a tree overnight, but once growth begins, nothing can stop it. Chosen one, there are conversations already moving toward you. There are opportunities already carrying your name. There are answers already leaving places you've never visited. God can use one phone call, one meeting, one unexpected opportunity to change the direction of your life. Never underestimate how quickly heaven can accomplish what people believe will take years. Chosen one, Joshua fought many battles, but one victory required nothing more than walking. No shouting at first, no fighting, just obedience. Sometimes God asks you to keep walking, even when nothing seems to be happening. The walls eventually fell, not because Joshua understood every detail, but because he trusted the one giving the instructions. Perhaps God is asking the same of you today. Keep walking, even if you don't yet see the walls moving. Chosen one, do not return to fear simply because circumstances haven't caught up with God's promise. Faith doesn't deny reality. It declares that God's authority is greater than reality. Your circumstances have information. God has the final word. Never confuse temporary facts with eternal truth. Chosen one, as this new season begins, protect your thoughts, guard your peace, celebrate small victories. Remain grateful, because grateful hearts recognize miracles sooner than complaining hearts. Sometimes the first evidence of victory isn't around you. It's within you. The anxiety begins to disappear. The fear loses its grip. Peace replaces panic. Hope returns. That's heaven's signature. God often transforms the heart before transforming the situation. Chosen one, don't spend another day introducing yourself by your struggle. Stop saying, I'm the person who's always fighting. I'm the one who never catches a break. I'm the one life forgot. That's not who God says you are. You are chosen. You are called. You are protected. You are being prepared. You are deeply loved. And your identity has never depended on the battle. It has always depended on the one who fights beside you. Chosen one, I believe you're entering a season where people will ask, what changed? They'll notice your peace before they notice your success. They'll see confidence where fear once lived. They'll wonder how you remained faithful after everything you endured. Your answer won't be complicated. You'll simply smile and say, God fought the battle I couldn't win. Because that's exactly what he does. He steps into battles too great for human strength. He carries burdens too heavy for weary hearts. He opens doors no person can shut. He closes doors no enemy can force open. He finishes what he starts. Chosen one, if heaven says the battle ended, stop living as though defeat is still your future. Lift your eyes, lift your prayers, lift your expectations, walk with confidence, speak with faith, rest without fear. Because while you were sleeping, God was already writing the next chapter of your testimony. The battle is over. Now, watch what he does next.